From SF Land, this is Dorking Out, a podcast for people who love to dork out about movies, TV, and everything pop culture.
Welcome to Dorking Out. My name is Sonia Mansfield, and I guess we would smell like a bunch of pussies to a bunch of dicks. Joining me is my podcasting sister from another mister and the co-host of Dorking Out, Margo D. Hello, my friend.
Hello, my friend. Hey, Eraserhead.
This week, we are dorking out about 1990s House Party, which is 30 years old this week, and that makes me feel old as fuck. Margo, did you see this movie in the theater?
I don't remember seeing it in the theater. I think the first time I saw it, it was either on HBO or I rented it. But I've seen it many times since then, and I love it.
I love it too. I definitely saw this in the theater. I think it played at my theater actually. So the soundtrack is pretty burned into my head, and I rented it like a million times after it came out because I really liked it. If you haven't seen it, you might know it as like the Kid and Play movie. It stars Kid and Play. It also stars Full Force. Probably too old. Actually, everyone in this movie is probably too old to be playing high school students. But so Kid and Play, Full Force. Tisha Campbell, she is so cute. She's adorable. Everybody,
she's adorable.
AJ Johnson, who plays Shireen, she was a fly girl, FYI.
And she was fly.
She is super fly. And then, of course, Robin Harris, R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Super funny in this movie. Daryl Chill Mitchell, who has come up a few times on this show now from Galaxy Quest. And he was in 10 Things I Hate About You. He's really, really funny in this. John Witherspoon, who always makes me laugh really hard. And even George Clinton is in this movie.
He has a little part.
I really, really love this movie. And it's pretty simple. Like, Play's having a party and kid wants to go to it, but his dad won't let him. His dad played by Robin Harris, so he sneaks out. He goes to the party. There's lots of dancing. It's a pretty simple story. I think the big deal about this movie is that it had like an African-American cast, and it was just about like Black life and kids, and it wasn't about like gangs or drug dealing.
Right. Or pregnant girls. It was just a movie about teenagers, and they just wanted to like go to a party and dance and have a good time, and they weren't drunks or alcoholics or committing crimes. Really, not really. Full Force kind of is, but not really. Like it's such a fun movie. It's so fun. It's super fun, and like you said, it's really nice because they're just they're adults playing teenagers, but they're just teenagers having fun. And there's none of this, because at the time there were movies like Boys in the Hood and Poetic Justice, and all these stories were about African American, and of course that's a real story about life in the ghetto and life being marginalized. But this is more of like a fairy tale version, but a lot of kids live this way. Like they grew up, in city living. And they went to house parties and they had a lot of fun and they were close to their parents and they loved their friends and into the music. And occasionally the cops come by and they're being assholes. But
yeah, that part was the most interesting to me during this rewatch was how nothing's changed. Nothing's changed in that way.
No, in that way, but it's a very nice version of police brutality. It's sort of like the cops are assholes, but they're not too bad. And they kind of just want to keep.
Yeah, they're not killing anybody.
They don't kill anyone. They don't put anybody in a stranglehold and kill them or plant drugs on anyone. I mean, they still do bullshit. I mean, which they shouldn't do. But it's just not as menacing, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Because they're played for laughs.
Yes.
More than anything. But there is this really like funny scene where at first it's not funny. They're like harassing Robin Harris for no reason. Other than he's walking at night and, he doesn't put up with their bullshit. And I love the part where he says, I'm from a small town called Fresh Off a Cop's Ass and you're making me homesick. Like, he's just so funny.
He was a comedian, by the way, if you guys didn't know that. He was a pretty famous comedian, and he died like a couple of weeks after this movie came out. He was very young.
It's so sad, and he's so funny in this movie. And so I guess we'll just go through the movie. Let's go from the beginning. So Robin Harris is Kid's dad. I almost called him Play. It's Kid. Mm-hmm. And Kid, just so you can tell them, that he's the one with like the eraser head haircut. He's like the hair that's like sticking up real high. And he's a good dad. Like, he's a single dad.
Yeah.
His mother passed, Kid's mother had passed away a couple years before. He's clearly like working really hard. He's working nights, but he's a good dad, but he's tough. And Kid goes to school, where he actually gets into a fight with Full Force. By the way, Full Force, there's 3 of them. They are grown fucking men. Like, in this, like, they must be in their 30s.
Oh, they all are. I mean, Kid was like 24 or 25 when and there's a scene at the very end. I'm going to spoil it, but it's a very weird joke about how Robin Harris whips him with a belt.
Yes.
And there's a scene where he's like crawling into bed. I'm like, am I going to watch a grown man whack the ass of another grown man in a menacing, like, there's something kind of fucked up going on here. I mean, they're playing on the joke that, spare the rod, spoil the child, but like, he's a little old for that punishment, isn't he?
Yes.
I don't know.
think they're 26. They're like 26, 27 years old at the time of filming. But Full Force was like a band that had hits like in the 80s and stuff. Like, they had to be in their 30s at least, and they look it too. Like, maybe they've been held back a lot. I don't know, but so he gets into a fight with Full Force at school, and actually, I think their fight is really funny the way it's filmed, because Full Force, if you haven't seen them, like two of them are really buff. Like, super ripped, buff guys. And then there's one that they're calling Pee-wee. That's kind of like, I don't know, he's kind of like their Flavor Flav, maybe. He's like, I'm gonna kick your fucking ass. Like, that's just how he talks all the time.
He's little and he's got a squeaky voice.
Yeah, and there's just this scene where, like, one of the guys has picked up Kid, and he's like holding him, and he's like punching him in the air while he's holding him up. And Pee-wee's there, like, going, do it again. And then he's like, wait. Now do it. Just the way the fight is staged is really, really funny, actually. So Kid gets sent to the principal's office, and he explains why he got into a fight. He's like, he called my mama a hoe, and I don't play that or whatever. And she's like, well, you're a good student, so I'm going to let you go. But I'm going to tell your father. So he leaves, and then the principal says to the guy from Full Force, why did you call his mother a garden tool? So Kid, which always makes me, why would you call his mother a garden tool? So Kid really wants to go to Play's party. That's where Tisha Campbell and AJ Johnson, that's Sydney and Shireen, are going to be there. And like, Kid and Play both have the hots for Sydney and or Shireen, depending
on the scene.
Yeah, depending on the scene. You don't know which one is hot for which one, and they're hot for Kid and or Play. It's there's a lot going on in that relationship, in those relationships there. So he gets home, and he's trying to like hide it from Robin Harris that he has been caught, and that he got busted fighting, and he wants to go to the party, but of course he gets caught, and he has to sneak out. Meanwhile, Play is dancing around his house, cleaning it, and he needs to pick up his friend Martin Lawrence in one of his first movies.
Yep.
He's DJing, and he's playing Bilal, I think is how you pronounce it. And he's got the worst breath ever. It's like the running thing through the movie is that he has the stinkiest breath. Like, every woman is like, they call him dragon breath behind his back. Excuse me. And there's a lot of arguing about he doesn't like DJing for free because they don't appreciate him. And Play finally comes to pick him up, and he's got like, a girl in the car, so there's no room for him, so he just takes the equipment. There's a lot of weird like back and forth going on about the equipment. What did you think about Martin Lawrence in this movie?
It's so funny. Like, he comes across as such a doofus, like in his first couple of roles, and then he became Martin of the Fox TV show, and that kind of changed how he was perceived. But he's sort of the third wheel in the doofus.
He is
at this time. Yeah, but he's good.
I think he's very funny.
Yeah, I think he's hilarious.
Oh, I forgot this part. So when Kid is trying to convince his dad to let him go, he says, "All my friends are gonna be there." And Robin Harris says, "I don't give a damn if Marvin Gaye's gonna be there. You're not going to that party." It's like such a thing an old person would say. It makes me laugh. And there's also a running gag about this old commercial that used to be on like BETV, or is it Black Entertainment Television? Yeah, BET. Yes.
BET.
Yeah, there was this old commercial that used to be on all the time with like all these like slow jams. I forget the name of the album, but it was like a compilation album of like slow jams, and it's like, "No, my brother, you have to get your own," like that thing. And the commercial repeats like throughout the movie, and it just every time it popped up and made me laugh.
Well, because remember in that time there were all these compilation albums, like in the 80s and 90s, there were commercials for them, and supposedly they sold really well. So they just there's Freedom Rock. Remember that commercial?
Turn it up,
Freedom
man.
Rock, turn it up, man. Freedom Rock. Okay, like they just knew which audience to appeal to for those things.
They had them for like every kind of music. So there's slow jams. There was I remember there was a ton for like 50s and 60s.
Oh, it's still like that on PBS channels on the weekends. Oh my God.
Yeah, my dad would probably like to have all of those albums now.
Yeah.
He loves that stuff. So everyone's getting ready to go to the party, and we kind of get a couple of vignettes of how like they're kind of getting ready. So there's the thing about, trying to get Martin Lawrence's DJ equipment to the house. A lot of back and forth about that. There's some really funny scenes with Sydney and Shireen, where Sydney goes over to Shireen's house, and Shireen lives in the projects, and like everyone's just sitting around watching TV, and she's like getting ready to go out, and she's like, "Let's wait for my nails to dry." So they sit outside, on some chairs, and she tells her little brother, "Peanut, make us some Kool-Aid." And there's just this like really funny exchange where like he's like, "We're all out," and she's like, "Then make us some." And it's like, "Do you want red or grape?" And she's like, "Red." Like, you're an idiot for even asking. Of course she wants red. What are you, a jerk? And then they show him like making it, and it's so gross. It's like,
it's so much sugar.
He's just dumping like a whole bag of sugar, and oh my God, it's so gross. But I really like the relationship between Sydney and Shireen. I actually think I really like them during this rewatch. I like that the women in the girls in the movie have their own agency. They have their own things that they're dealing with. They're not just like pretty girls,
No.
Like,
and they get to be funny too.
Yeah, like kind of I was thinking of that movie. I was thinking of Weird Science, strangely, when I know that they're not really related, but there is like a big high school party in Weird Science, and there's these two girls that the guys like in Weird Science, and there's nothing about them other than they're cute. Like they don't have any real personality. These girls are smart and funny and like good dancers, and they have like a good time together, and they're good friends. Like they have an argument, but they work it out. And like I really like them.
I loved it when they were dancing. I love the dance scenes when they do have the party. These people are such great dancers, and there are a lot of athletics going on there, but it just seems like that's the kind of party you totally want to be at. And I love the when they're kind of playing against each other and stuff. I just was like, I wish I could dance. I wish I could do that.
There is a dance off between Sydney and Shireen and Kid and Play that, I mean, I just rewatched the movie, and then I've rewatched that scene many, many times this week because I just enjoy watching it. And the song has been stuck in my head since then. And the song is actually by Full Force, and it's called "Ain't My Type of Hype." and I've been singing it all week. Like, ain't my type of hot baby. I can't sing, you guys. I've been really sick. I can't sing anyway, but I've also been really, really sick. So nobody wants that. I really enjoy those dance-offs. All the dancing is fun. There's just dancing going on all the time, like in the background, and everyone's really good. And I'm currently taking a dance class, and I am nowhere near as good as any of these people. Not even close.
Well, they also have a rap battle between Kid and Play.
And that's super fun.
It's super, super fun. I mean, it's like funny when at first people go, the roof is on fire. What is this? What kind of bullshit Sugar Hill Gang shit is this? You know, just such a funny.
But their battle's really, really fun. And I think, I don't know if, I don't like to stereotype as like black audience, white audience, but I don't know if white audiences knew rap battles were a thing. And I still don't know if they knew it was a thing until they saw 8 Mile, to be honest. But before 8 Mile, you guys, there was House Party. And there were other, I think there was one called Wild Styles. I think that was also like a rap battle movie. And then we had like Breakin' and Crush Groove and Beat Street. It was all
Beat
about
Street was so great.
It's all about like rap battles and dance battles and stuff like that. I really liked Breakin'. I watched it a lot when I was a kid.
And then there's Breakin' 2 Electric Boogaloo,
which is super famous just for its name.
Yeah.
Excuse me, everybody. So on his way to the party, Kid runs across George Clinton, who is DJing like some like fraternity party, like a class reunion of some sort, maybe.
Yeah, and it's for a very well-to-do African-American crowd.
Yes.
So when Full Force shows up looking like they look like, it kind of shocks people.
Yes.
But that's because Kid's running away from them. But yeah, George Clinton gets his licks in there. And then Tisha Campbell, is it her parents are at the thing? Yeah. So she's like from a more wealthy family. And yeah, that was really funny, that whole scene. They get to the rap battle, and then when they leave the party, Kid is separated from Play, and he has to run. His whole thing now is he has to get home.
Yes.
Right? Get home in time, and the Full Force is following him, and at one point he hides in a refrigerator. Like there's a refrigerator. I screamed when I saw, like, no, get out of the refrigerator.
That's how people die. People die doing that.
Stop it. And then he gets picked up by the cops. He's been picked up a couple times. The first time they kind of let him go, but this time they bring him to jail. And then there's a whole weird scene where,
my God,
it's a very 90s gay panic.
Totally.
Scene.
That scene has not aged well.
I didn't think it aged well at the time. I was a little like, ooh, that's kind of.
He's in a holding cell, by the way. He's in a holding cell.
He's not in jail. Right.
He's not in jail.
In prison.
He's in there with like murderers and child molesters. Yes. Okay, sure. And he's in there for 5 minutes, and they're already like drawing straws on who gets to rape him. It's ridiculous.
Right. Ridiculous. So then he does his anti-gay sex rap.
Yeah.
And gets away. I mean, like you said, there's a couple of things that don't age very well.
Yes.
But what I did like is that there's a scene with Kid and Tisha Campbell where Sydney, and he actually does go to her room, and they have a little bit of they have a little romance going on.
They're making out.
Which is making out, and they're being very cautious about it, but it's really sweet. And then it's kind of weird because Play, he's going after Shireen.
Yes.
And it's very funny. He drops Shireen off at home, and she's like, bye. Like no kiss, nothing. She's like, and yeah, because she has agency over herself.
Yeah.
And so they're all going back. Martin and, what am I thinking of? Martin Lawrence, sorry.
Yes.
I'm getting all these names screwed up. So it's Bilal, Play, and Kid are in a car, and they're ready. It's the end of the night, and they're ready to go home. And Martin always cracks me up. Bilal always cracks me up. He goes, "Yo, you want to come to my house? They got Crush Groove and Beat Street on." Which I would totally be there. Like, absolutely. Let's watch it.
I would go over there.
Fucking A. But then he makes a really weird comment because kid says, "No, we were just kissing, I didn't have a condom, so I didn't want to take it further." And I don't know if he's just bragging or what, but he said, "No, we didn't take it further." He goes, "What does it matter?" And then he goes, "Well, what if she gets pregnant?" He goes, "That's her problem, not my problem."
Yeah.
Like that kind of like, ugh, that,
and
he's
then he
kind
says,
of a creep.
Yeah, and he says, "You're a dog," or whatever, and they're both like, "Rawr, rawr, 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 rawr," But I think we're to agree that like Kid is the good one here. Like, he's being he's smart and he's respectful, and I like that. And I like that you see, like, they take first he's walking them both home, and he's making his big play for Shireen, and it doesn't work. And then as he's walking Sydney home, they actually get to know each other. And he kind of, she's like, "Fuck you," to him at first. Like, she's, kind of, "I didn't take it personal when you asked Shireen out before me," kind of thing. She's put up her wall. But he's very charming, and he's very nice, and he's very patient, and they get to know each other on that walk, and then they kind of connect. And I like that they have that conversation. And I like that they had the condom discussion too, because I mean, maybe it's a little like after school special, but I like that it happened.
Absolutely.
I think it's it's cool, and I think it's what smart kids would do, and they're smart.
Right.
And so I'm totally fine with that. I like it. I also wanted to talk about John Witherspoon, who plays their neighbor.
So he was just, he and Robin Harris just ad-libbed their lines.
This does not surprise me.
Which doesn't surprise, because they're both very funny men. Like, they could just turn on the microphone and let them do their thing. And with Robin Harris was also in Do the Right Thing. He got to just kind of ad-lib his line. But yeah, he's like, are they playing Public Enema?
John Witherspoon, by the way, in the movie Friday is one of my favorite things ever. Like, I really like the movie Friday. I think it's super funny. Yeah. And I think John Witherspoon is really, really great in that movie. And I think he's really great in this one. And I love him. Like, "Shut off all that damn noise. This isn't Soul Train." And he keeps repeating, like, "I paid $15,000 for this house." And I'm like, what?
That's all I could think of too. Like, are you kidding me?
It's like a beautiful house. It's like,
it's gorgeous.
Multiple level. It's super great. Oh my gosh.
Oh, who's that?
Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so sorry. My dog is barking. So one of his lines I actually say all the time, where he says, "I'm calling the police." The way he says it all the time. Police. I also like the joke where his wife refers to him by a different name. And for a while it's Walter, 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 and then she's like, "Harry, come back to bed." He's like, "Who's Harry?" I really, really enjoyed him, and it's a very small part, but I like that.
No, it's just a sweet movie. I don't know, I think it's got a really good message to it, and they've made 1 million of them since then.
Yeah, have you seen any of them?
No.
I saw the second one, and that's the one a lot of people were, they're like, "Oh, you watched House Party with the Pajama Jammy Jam." And I'm like, "No, that's the second one. How dare you? How dare you? That's the second one." I don't recall really liking the second one that much, but I haven't seen it since the theater. So maybe I would like it, but I have not watched it yet. I haven't rewatched it, I should say. But this one I super love. What else was I going to say? Oh, I like how Sydney and Shireen work out their argument.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a super common argument between female friends. Like, kind of, there might be the one girl who Shireen is stringing both guys along. Mm-hmm. Kind of. She's keeping them both for herself. And Sydney's like, calling her out on it. And she's, and then Shireen says, "If you want him, take him. You've got to walk home, try to make it happen," or whatever. And then, and then she does. And Shireen gets kind of pissed. Like, I'm not tripping. And she's like, "Oh no." And then you see them like talking it out a little bit. And then she's like, "You go, girl. Thank you, girl." They work it out. And I think that's what good friends would do.
Yeah.
She seems
really happy for her, and I like how Shireen instantly then is like, "Play, did I tell you how good you look tonight?" Like, they're both ridiculous people. They deserve each other.
They do.
Yeah. And then, of course, he walks her to the door, and he once again is like, "Can I have some sort of sign of affection?" And she's like, "No."
Nope.
Like, goes in, and I'm
you
like,
got to work harder than that.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's really, really funny. Do you think Kid and Sydney are still together? Without having seen the other movies, what do you think?
No. No. They but they like have a sweet little romance, and then he goes to college and she goes to college, and they have, they're friends. They see each other occasionally, but they're not together.
Yeah. I haven't seen like I said, I haven't seen the other movies. Probably they are in the other movies, huh?
But
right?
It's crazy. No, but it's so crazy that Tisha Martin Sydney, she and Martin Lawrence had a show together on Fox for so many years called Martin. So she's like been actually so connected to him.
Yes.
Versus them. And then they had that show for years, and she sued him for sexual harassment.
I know.
And they shut the show down. Yeah.
But apparently they've worked it out, like, personally. Like their friend, like, they have nothing but like nice things to say about each other now. But at the time,
yeah, he was mad.
Yeah, he had some problems back in the day.
He had a lot of problems. Do you remember that time? There was in the news, he was trying to lose weight for a movie, and he wore one of those outfits that like looks like a metallic jumpsuit.
Yeah.
But it's to keep the sweat in, and he was like running around LA. It was like over 100 degrees.
Oh my God.
And passed out on the street. Like, he's had done some weird things.
He learned that from Vision Quest.
I haven't seen that movie in so long.
But I know it's on our list for sure.
It's definitely, we'll put that on the list.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he also had like, there might have been some drug or alcohol issues there. So it wouldn't surprise me that there was some issues back in the day, but I think he's clean and sober now, and it sounds like maybe they've worked it out. So that is good.
I think it depends who you ask. I think he's like, he's saying, we're totally fine. It was a misunderstanding. And she's like, no, but he's apologized.
Yeah.
And we've had some time to move. It's been like 20 years. So
yeah, she's not saying there was a misunderstanding. She's saying,
no,
this shit really happened, but we're fine now.
Right.
I read that this movie originally was supposed to star the DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince.
And because they did a show, it was like Nightmare on My Street, which was like a takeoff on Freddy Krueger's Nightmare on Elm Street, and they didn't get permission, and they used like sound samples and shit. I don't remember the song at all, but that part of the settlement for doing that was that they were going to do this movie, but then people decided against it.
Yeah, so then I read that Kid and Play were also offered the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air sitcom, and they turned it down. So there's a lot of weird crossover there.
Yeah.
And in case you guys don't know, DJ Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince is Will Smith. And, well, Jazzy Jeff, I don't think he ever changed his name. But so we had two, like, dueling, another kind of rap battle, if you will. What else was I going to tell you about this? Did you watch the Saturday morning Kid and Play cartoon?
No, I did not.
No, I didn't either. I think I was a little too old for that. I was sleeping on Saturday mornings by the time
if I wasn't working, I was sleeping.
Yeah. So I don't think I was watching that cartoon.
Do you remember the Hammer cartoon?
I know of it.
Yeah, I've seen that one a couple of times. Hammer time! Hammer! With the big pants.
Was it good?
No, it was terrible.
Of course it was. I bet I would watch it now, though, and probably love it.
I think I'd watch it just like a hate watch, just for fun.
There was also like a Jackie Chan cartoon for a while.
I didn't know that.
But I didn't watch that one either, obviously. Once again, I try to sleep in on Saturday mornings, so I don't watch.
Yeah.
Not that I can, because I have a kid and a puppy, but I try. They are talking about making a remake of House Party, or a reboot, if you will, with like LeBron James, like production company is talking about it. And I'm like, I would totally watch a reboot of House Party.
Yeah, totally.
I'm like, you don't even have to call it House Party, but you can. I mean, it's a name. people love House Party.
Yeah.
I get it. For the longest time, like, because there was only the 3 House Party movies, when people would talk about the trilogy, like, they're always talking about Star Wars, but I would be like, you mean House Party, right? You're talking about House Party. That was like my joke. It was like such a go-to joke. You mean House Party? Yes, I've seen the trilogy. Oh, you're talking about Star Wars. Yes, I've seen that one too. And like I said, I have not stopped singing Ain't My Type of Hype. It's been like all week. It's stuck in my head. I love the Kid and Play rap battle song too. Oh, the soundtrack also has Always and Forever.
Yes, that's right.
Oh my God, that song. It's such so
great.
It's like the epitome of slow jam.
It's the makeout song.
It's a total makeout song.
Yeah, totally.
If you have a classic R&B and soul radio station in your town and you put it on right now, they are playing Always and Forever by Heatwave. They are 100% playing it. Or they will play it within the next hour. It is always on. It's such a good song. I love that song. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to list other movies.
Well, that's okay.
So I'm going to pull some up. Would you, do you have anything else you want to say about House Party?
I actually have nothing else to say about House Party. I find it very, very enjoyable and easy. It doesn't really stay with me though. I mean, I just kind of enjoy it and then I move on. But I love the dance sequence. I love the fashion. It's so a product of his time, late 80s, early 90s. Yeah. And it just reminds me, like a younger, more innocent time.
Yeah, it honestly, with everything that's going on in the world right now, this was like a perfect rewatch for me. It just made me happy. It's such a good little happy movie. I really, really liked rewatching it, actually. I really, really enjoyed this rewatch. It's so good. And I'm just going to listen to that song over and over now. Would you like to hear some other movies that came out in 1990?
Yes, I would.
Okay. Dances with Wolves.
Yep, we've talked about that.
Back to the Future 3.
I think I've only seen that once.
That's the one with it's the Western.
The Western one. And people say it's really good, but I don't know. I just like the first one, to be honest.
Yeah. I kind of pretend the sequels don't exist. I know this one's on our list. Ghost.
Yes.
Love Ghost. Patrick Swayze. And Demi Moore's adorable pixie cut.
Everybody drink.
Everybody drink. Godfather Part 3.
Excellent movie. No. Not a good movie.
I think there's parts of it. It's really good. Andy Garcia is really... Andy Garcia.
He's yummy.
Yeah, let's just say that. The Hunt for Red October. That's a good one.
That's a very good one.
I like that one. Die Hard 2.
I like Die Hard 2.
Gremlins 2, The New Batch.
Some people think it's better than the first one. I don't agree, but I think it's a good movie.
I also agree with you on that. So my husband and I watched Gremlins and Gremlins 2, and I didn't like Gremlins 2 at all. At all. I didn't like it. And he was like, "You don't like it at all?" And I was like, "No."
Yeah, there's people who think it's better than the first one. They're absolutely wrong.
I think they're wrong. The first one's great. I actively dislike the second one, but I'm glad that other people love it. That's good for them. Flatliners.
We should talk about that.
We should definitely talk about that. And I just rewatched this one for This Movie Fest last week, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I've never seen it.
Which was a really enjoyable rewatch.
Okay.
It really was. It's very weird. It's a weird movie. Like they're dudes in turtle suits fighting stuff, but it's pretty harmless. I enjoyed it. Also, The Grifters came out in 1990.
Oh, I love that movie.
Grifters is legit. Let's see what else. I'm gonna give you one more. Ooh, Days of Thunder with Tom Cruise.
Yeah, I've never seen that movie.
It's terrible.
Yeah, it just sounded so stupid to me. I just never bothered.
It's so stupid. It's Top Gun with cars. It's Top Gun with cars.
And I've never seen Top Gun, so that for me.
We're definitely going to talk about Top Gun. That's happening.
So do you want to hear about songs?
Yes, I do.
Okay. These are songs I like from 1990.
Okay.
So these are all my favorite from 1990. Get my glasses. Here we go. Number 1 for me, Humpty Dance by Digital Underground.
Duh.
Yeah.
It's only one of the best songs ever.
Ever, you guys. Maxi Priest, Close to You. I still love that song.
That song's rad. I love that song too.
MC Hammer, You Can't Touch This.
That song is dope.
Still good.
I love MC Hammer. He's a legit celebrity here in the Bay Area. We love MC Hammer here. I won't have anyone talk shit about him in my presence.
Nope. CNC Music Factory, Gonna Make You Sweat. You could not escape that song at the time.
That song was also in every movie trailer.
And they still do it all the time. Like use it in commercials and stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Jane's Addiction, Been Caught Stealing. Awesome song.
Yes, awesome song.
And then my number 1 for 1990, Depeche Mode, Enjoy the Silence.
I love that song too.
So much.
It's such a good song. Such a great. I know. Such a good
record.
Such a good year for songs.
Yeah.
What else are you dorking out about?
Oh, you know what? I don't have anything.
What?
Oh no, I do have something.
Yeah.
Okay. So on K-Rock, it's a station I listen to online, and they're based in LA, and they have like a comedy showcase every year. I forget what it's called, but they had to cancel it because of the coronavirus. And so this week, normally they give tickets away. People call in with kids jokes and they win tickets to this event. And they're like, let's just do the kids jokes anyway, because we could all use some humor.
Yeah.
And so this is my favorite joke that one of the kids called in. Ready?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, Sonia.
Hello. Yes. Hey, Margo.
How do you wake up Lady Gaga?
I don't know. How do you wake up Lady Gaga?
Poker face.
That's a solid kid joke.
I love that joke.
Oh my God, it's so funny. I love it.
Yeah.
My favorite kid joke is did you hear about the pirate movie?
No.
It's rated R. By the way, that joke kills with like 5-year-olds. 5-year-olds are like, they think it's the best joke they've ever heard.
No, they just had all these kids. I wish I could remember more of that. These kids called in with these jokes, and they just were like funnier and funnier. Like especially with the little kid voices and stuff.
Yeah.
Like they're so cute. It was just during a week where everything was topsy turvy and crazy. Like every day they had a segment for this, and it was just like a few minutes I could just sit and laugh and just enjoy it.
Seriously,
so what I was dorking out about this week.
We need more of that.
Yeah.
If they recorded that, they should post it somewhere where just people can listen to the jokes.
I'm pretty sure it's called Kevin in the Morning. I'm pretty sure they have a podcast.
Okay.
So I would look for that if you want, because like it was every day this past week, and it was so cute.
That's a good one. I have 2 things. One is I've been watching Night on Earth on Netflix, which is the like nature documentary where they film things at night, and it's broken up by like jungle and desert and sea. I really like nature documentaries.
Ooh.
People who listen to our show for a long time probably already know this about me. I find those shows very comforting, kind of like a Great British Baking Show. Like these are go-to things for me, where I can just see nature's like how nature adapts to change and how they move on. I find very comforting. Anyway, the cameras they have now to film these things are amazing.
Oh, incredible.
And the footage they get is crazy. And the Night on Earth one is really great. There's also there's all kinds of like Planet Earth, Blue Planet, like a million of them. But the newest one is called Night on Earth, and it's really great. And if you guys want, I'll record like a commentary for you, and you could watch it because it's just me the whole time going, ew, No, that's gross. That's not real. That's an alien. I don't believe that's an animal. It's me for 55 minutes doing that, basically, and my husband going, "Oh boy." Like turning up the volume because I'm going, "No, ew, it's a spider, gross." But I still love it. So watch Night on Earth. It's on Netflix. There's all kinds of good nature ones, but that's the newest. And I also ventured out to the theater. I was brave, and I saw The Invisible Man.
Oh, and you said it was excellent, right?
It was excellent. Excellent. I really, 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 really liked it. It's super good, you guys, with Elizabeth Moss. And it takes like a really different idea. It's kind of, she's in this like kind of a sleeping with the enemy situation. She's in like a very abusive marriage, and she gets away from him, and then he's the invisible man. He starts stalking her, and of course, like, no one believes her, and it kind of plays on that fear that women have.
Nobody will believe you.
No one believes you.
Oh my God.
It's really, really well done, and it's very creepy. There's some legit scares in there. I'm really glad I saw it. It could be why I got sick.
Yeah, I wonder now if that happened, but you got something there. Was that Alamo?
Yeah, it was at the Alamo. It was pretty, actually, and it was in the smaller theater, so it wasn't like a big crowd or anything, but maybe I exposed myself to the virus. A virus. I don't think I have the virus. But maybe. It's really, really great, and if you guys get a chance, you should definitely see it, or if you're too scared, definitely stream it when it is available that way, because I think it's legit worth it. You know, when they were talking about doing those dark universe movies, like they did the Mummy with Tom Cruise, and that movie was terrible. It was super terrible. Mm-hmm. And they were going to do like the werewolf or Wolfman and Invisible Man and all that. I wanted them to be like this. I wanted like modern interpretations. Mm-hmm. And that's what The Invisible Man is. If they wanted to do other ones like this, like a new Mummy with like a modern take, I would be into it. I would be into those movies. And as far as I can tell, this isn't connected to that shitty Mummy movie that came out.
No, it's Blumhouse, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have some interesting movies coming out of Blumhouse. And it's one of those conceits, like The Invisible Man, like, Jesus, why didn't anybody think of this before? Mm-hmm. Like, it's perfect for a horror film.
It's really, really great. And I think if they do a bunch of other ones, I would totally see them if they take a similar approach. And Elizabeth Moss is rad. Like, she's just one of those people that she fucking gives it all every time. She's really, really great. And
yeah, she's a great actress.
The Invisible Man is played by the very troubled brother in the House on Haunted Hill. Mm-hmm. Not documentary, the limited series that was on, the like kind of drug addicted brother.
Right. The one who died?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
Spoiler for a series that came out like 2 years ago. And he's really good, and like it's, you know, he's invisible for most of the movie, but it's just really he looks like, I don't know, such a fucking dude bro type in this movie that I don't know, it was just very well casted, this movie. I really liked it, so definitely check it out. Where can people find you on the internet, Margo?
You can find me on social media at Brooklyn Fit Chick, mainly for Twitter and Instagram. And my blog is brooklynfitchick.com. And you and I also co-host the What a Creep podcast. So please check that out, you guys, if you're interested in hearing us talk about creeps, because we get really into it.
We do, and it's super fun. And there's a Patreon page for bonus episodes there. And I think we're going to have a store with merch soon. So that'll be super fun. And maybe I'll make some Dorking Out merch while I'm in there if I'm feeling feisty.
Yeah, you guys, if you want some stickers, let us know. We'll send you some stickers. Send us an email or send it in social media, but we'd be happy to send you stickers. Yeah. Dorking Out stickers, What a Creep stickers, we got them.
Yeah, you can email us at dorkingoutpodcast@gmail.com.
And you can find Dorking Out at dorkingout.com and Dorking Out Show on Twitter. If you could go to Apple Podcasts and leave us a review, that would be amazing. That would help us find our people. And you can find me at thesoniashow.com and The Sonia Show on Twitter. And this was super fun. I'm so glad that we rewatched and talked about House Party.
This was so rad. I'm going to put on some 90s jams and do a little kid and play moves in my apartment.
Now, Margo, do I get some sort of kiss or hug or some sign of affection, please?
Nope.